Hello, and welcome to Real Talk Counseling Connections. I'm your host, Tamisha, a licensed professional counselor in Texas. This is the place where we unravel the complexities of anxiety, social struggles, and personal growth, especially for teens, parents, and women navigating life challenges. Each episode, I'll share practical advice, creative solutions, and host honest conversations using fictional stories to help you build self awareness, confidence, and joy. Quick reminder though, while I'm a licensed therapist, this podcast is in no way a substitute for therapy. It is only for educational purposes only. So if you need personalized support, please reach out to a mental health professional in your area. Now, let's get real, transform your life one episode at a time. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. If you're listening right now, I'm guessing life might feel a little or a lot overwhelming lately. Maybe you've been doom scrolling again or lying awake at night wondering, what's next? How do I prepare when I don't even know what's coming? But let me tell you, you're not alone. Feels like it's spinning faster than we can keep up in our brains. They hate that. Because our minds crave predictability. They want guarantees, and right now there aren't many. But here's the good news. Even when the future feels foggy, there are ways to steady yourself. So today, we're talking about how to cope when everything feels uncertain with surprising, science-backed, and even a little out-of-the-box strategies to help you feel grounded again. Let's talk about the real reason uncertainty feels, so heavy. It's not just about not knowing what's next. It's about realizing how much we can't control. And here's the hard truth about uncertainty. It forces us to face how little control we have over other people's choices. Laws change, jobs shift, people surprise us, for better or worse. And when those big external things feel unstable, it's easy to spiral into, if I can't control any of this, how can I feel safe? But here's what I want you to remember. Your power isn't in controlling the world, it's in how you respond to it. So think about it like this. If you can't control the weather, but you can decide whether to dance in the rain, stand firm in the wind or build a shelter. The storm isn't the problem, it's believing you're powerless in it. That's why uncertainty hits so hard. We waste energy trying to fix things we can't change instead of nurturing the things that we can. Our mindset, our boundaries, the tiny choices that add up to a life that feels like ours. But here's what I've learned. Uncertainty isn't the problem. It's where we're putting our focus. So when we obsess over what we can't control, other people's choices, the news, the future, we hand over our peace. But when we shift to what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, even tiny choices like how we spend the next 10 minutes, we take our power back. I'm not saying it's easy. It's infuriating to watch the world spin while you're just trying to stay upright. But here's the truth. You don't have to wait for the storm to pass to find your own footing. So today, let's talk about how to redirect that energy, because even when the world feels chaotic, you get to decide what kind of person you will be in the middle of it, how you show up. And that starts with small, unshakable steps. Because here's the secret. The most resilient people aren't the ones with perfect lives. They're the ones who learn how to dance in the rain and build shelters at the same time. So think about this. What's one thing lately that's made you feel powerless? Scream it into your notes app, and then let's flip the script together. So we've talked about why uncertainty feels so heavy, especially when it seems like the world is making decisions for us and not with us. But now let's get into the good stuff. How do we actually live inside this uncertainty without losing ourselves? Because here's what I've learned. The most resilient people aren't the ones who have it all to figure out. They're the ones who've mastered the art of adjusting their sails while the wind changes, and that's a skill anyone can build. So today, I want to share some of my favorite ways to do that. Simple, practical tools that help you reclaim your energy when the world feels chaotic. These tools aren't about fixing everything overnight. They're about giving you one solid step to take when you're feeling untethered. So think of it like this. When you're in the middle of the storm, you don't need to see the whole path. You just need one sturdy branch to hold on to. These tools, they are your branches. All right. The first tool is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 twist, the future edition. So instead of just name things you see, hear, feel now, try this. Name 5 things you've survived in the past that felt uncertain at that time. Then name 4 things you can control today, even tiny things like what you eat for breakfast or what you eat for dinner. Name 3 people who've got your back no matter what. Then name 2 ways your future self might look back and say, I grew from this. And then lastly, one word to describe how you want to feel right now. So this reminds your brain, I've handled hard things before, and so I've got this. All right. So the second tool is the time travel hack. This is inspired from the book Finding Peace in Difficult Times by Divya Kohli. It offers some great tools and techniques. Now, I want you to close your eyes and imagine yourself 10 years from now, looking back at this moment. What would future you say to present you? Probably something like, you don't need to have it all figured out. This was just a chapter, one chapter, or you were stronger than you realized. This shrinks the big, scary unknown into perspective when you utilize this tool. All right, then technique number 3, the gratitude jar for the future. So write down one hope for the future, big or small, and put it in the jar. And every time you add one, say, I don't know how yet, but I trust this is possible. Because this shifts the focus from what if it goes wrong or what if it goes right. So try that technique. And then lastly, the 4th tool, touch and tell grounding. So grab an object near you, a pen, a ring, a pillow, a water bottle, and then notice its temperature, its texture, and its weight. And then say out loud, right now, I am here. This is real. Sounds simple, but it forces your brain out of future panic mode. So now, I know what some of you might be thinking. What if I do all of this and still feel like hopeless? And honestly, that's normal. Uncertainty doesn't just mess with our sense of control, it can drain the joy right out of us. So, which is why in just a minute, we're going to talk about how to find light even when the future feels dark. Because resilience isn't just about surviving, it's about remembering what makes life worth living. But first, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these tools feels most doable this week? Leave a comment because I read every one. All right, so let's talk about joy. Let's be real for a second. When life feels like it's spinning out of control, joy is usually the first thing to disappear. It's like your brain says, how dare you laugh when there's so much to worry about? Maybe you've even caught yourself thinking, I'll let myself be happy when things settle down, or it feels selfish to enjoy anything right now. Or worse, what's the point? Nothing good lasts anyway. If that sounds familiar, I want you to take a breath and hear this. Joy is not a luxury. It's not a reward for when life finally gets stable. It is actually your fuel. Think about it. When your phone battery is at like 5%, you don't say, I'll only change it when I'm less busy. No, you plug it in because you need it to function, right? So joy works the same way. The heavier the world feels, the more you need those small sparks of light to keep going. And here's why uncertainty plays dirty. It doesn't just take joy, it convinces you you're wrong for wanting it. And so we need to rewrite that script. I'm not talking about forcing yourself to be positive or ignoring real pain. This is about stubborn, rebellious little moments that remind you, I am still here. I am still me. So try this today. Give yourself permission slips for micro joy. For example, I'm allowed to enjoy my coffee without guilt, even if the news is bad. I'm allowed to blast one song and dance like no one's watching, especially because life feels heavy. Or I'm allowed to text a friend something silly because laughter doesn't mean I'm ignoring reality. It means I'm surviving it. These moments aren't trivial, they're resistant. They're proof that uncertainty doesn't get to own all of you. And if you're thinking, but what if I can't feel joy right now? Well, that's okay. Start smaller. Try what I like to call borrowed joy. So notice a child laughing at the park. Smile at a dog wagging its tail. Soak up 5 minutes of sunshine like it's a gift. You don't have to create joy to let it in. Sometimes you just have to stop blocking it. Here's your takeaway. Uncertainty doesn't get to decide what you're allowed to enjoy. So this week I'm giving you homework. And yes, it's mandatory. Claim one micro joy every day. Not because the world is fixed, but because you deserve to feel alive in the middle of it all. Or pick one grounding technique from today and try it. Then DM me or leave a comment telling me how it went. And next week, we're talking about breaking the cycle of hopelessness because even in the dark, tiny sparks matter. But for now, remember, joy isn't the opposite of struggle. It's what carries us through it. You don't have to see the whole staircase to take the first step. So thanks for listening. Give us 5 stars on whatever podcast streaming service you use, and I will see you next week.